There's a buzz in the bluegrass as a new college basketball season dawns tonight in Lexington. Nicholls comes to town with upset intentions, while Kentucky embarks on a journey they hope culminates in a completed assignment. And we say welcome to Rupp Arena with the four-year Wildcat, Robbie Moss. I'm Noah Frary, and many in these parts have had this date circled since the season came to an end last March, the second year of the Mark Pope era. And Robbie, he's got a loaded roster and a National Player of the Year headliner in Oweh.
SEC Player of the Year expectations. And with those great expectations for Oweh after a stellar junior season. He's a capable three-point shooter, but his real power is attacking the basket, and he does so like a Mack truck. He's an absolute beast in the passing lanes and runs through passing lanes with force to get steals. He's a true two-way player, and if he continues to play as hard as he did last year, those expectations can definitely be met.
Now on the other side for Nicholls, Tavon Sadler has led this team to back-to-back 20-win seasons. Why's he found success on the Bayou?
Coach Sadler can be described in one word, and that's passionate. He has an amazing passion for the game. He has an amazing passion for his players, and it comes through. It's palpable. You can feel it. But what's more important is just his love for the players after the game. You can tell that he really cares about these guys, and that care is why the guys will play so hard for him and go out here and they've been able to overachieve.
Kentucky will be without Jalen Lowe tonight, but we have been told Denzel Aberdeen is available, will not be in the starting lineup. But Mark Pope said, good chance that he plays in tonight's game. The first game of the 25-26 season for the Kentucky Wildcats. Same can be said for the Nicholls Colonels. Almost set for basketball here inside Rupp Arena, the 50th year of this cathedral. Oweh is ready. Final moments before this season opener gets underway here in Lexington. A slight delay here early on. Robbie, how are the nerves for these players?
Well, I think Kentucky's ready to play. Nicholls may have a few more nerves. They haven't played in front of a crowd like this yet this season, obviously in their first game, and maybe not in their career. So it's the first time for these guys. Probably a little bit nervous, but once that ball gets thrown up, they should be ready to play.
The Nicholls team a season ago, 20-13. Meanwhile, for Mark Pope, 24-12, a Sweet 16 loss to Tennessee, but they certainly have ambitions of a much greater journey here in the second year of this era.
No question. Coach Pope knows exactly what the expectations are, and Kentucky, all these players understand exactly what it is. So that test and the exam starts today. See if they can pass it.
And after a slight delay, looks like we are ready for basketball here inside Rupp Arena. Brandon Garrison, Jelavic Dunkley, and it is the Wildcats who win the opening tip here of this regular season. Colin Chandler getting the start at the point tonight. Jalen Lowe, the projected starter, out with an injury that he sustained in the preseason. Here's Oweh, preseason National Player of the Year candidate for this Wildcats team. Deep on the shot clock. Chandler, guarded by Malone, has to heave. Off the mark. And the rebound not controlled by Nick Crass as Kentucky gets it with a fresh 20.
Nicholls comes out playing really good defensively, very strong, forcing Kentucky to get late into the shot clock, taking away some of their first options.
Kentucky with 6 new pieces, but 4 returning players in the starting lineup here tonight for Mark Pope's Wildcats. More great defense here for Nicholls. Dioubate with it. Driving on Searles. And a foul comes late. It'll be the first personal on Jalen Searles, the graduate out of Everett, Washington. And Kentucky will have it on the baseline.
I think Kentucky struggled against Georgetown, took some early shots. You can see them getting a little bit late. You can see them definitely trying to work their offense a little bit more. And maybe that's the reason why they're getting so late into the shot clock.
This defense has already put in yeoman's work here early on in this game. Here's Otega Oweh into the lane. Teardrop, no. Rebound to Searles. A Nicholls team that brings back 3 starters, English, Searles, and Malone. And a turnover here as Kentucky will take it the other way. Noah heaves for 3. Too strong. And Kentucky will have it as Crass went flying into the first row.
Noah, good to see him pull up on the break. That is an easy shot in basketball, to come down and dribble into a shot. He struggled last game. I know he's trying to get going this season. He wants to start off shooting the ball well.
Colin Chandler, Trent Noah making their first career starts here this evening in the home opener. There's Colin Chandler at the point.
Nicholls
guarded by Malone. And give Nicholls credit. They've been playing a lot of great defense early on, Robbie.
Definitely. They had a very spirited walk through this morning, and it's really carried over into this afternoon and evening. They're coming out with a lot of aggression defensively. They're switching, they're talking, communicating extremely well right now, making things really hard for this Kentucky offense.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Colin Chandler hoists the 3. Halfway down and out. Kentucky 0 for 3 from downtown early. Chandler racing back, deflects that one out of play.
That's a great look, though. I mean, wide open off the inbounds pass, first pass. You've got to take that shot. Just got to knock it down. So maybe those nerves are a little more prevalent for Kentucky Wildcats than I thought.
Trey English, the redshirt senior out of Baltimore, Maryland, one of those 3 returning starters for this team. He's got it at the top, 5th year for him playing Southland basketball. Under 10 on the shot clock. English heaves, it was blocked. Now Kentucky looking to get into transition. Dioubate up top for Garrison.
That's the key right there. Getting out in transition is going to be great for Kentucky. That all starts by playing really, really good defense. Colin Chandler blocks a shot. You're able to get out, get on the break, and get up and down, let these athletes run. That's what Kentucky needs to do.
And an offensive foul here on Trey English.
That's Mo, transfer from Alabama over here. Lefty, handles the ball. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He does a little bit of everything. Throws up a nice soft pass for Brandon Garrison to finish the dunk. That's exactly what Kentucky needs to do in order to win and be successful this season. Get up
Back
and
to
down.
the point you were making a moment ago in that final exhibition for Kentucky, 2 things they struggled with was getting out in transition and playing sound defense. They're going to try to improve those tonight.
Careless turnover there. Yeah, without a doubt, Kentucky's going to be the best when they can get stops. Any team is better when they can run up and down the court, especially Kentucky. Against Georgetown, they weren't getting any stops. Georgetown was turning over their offense, and there were so many defensive breakdowns that Coach Pope spoke about, getting in the gaps. The gap coverage wasn't good, and they weren't helping each other, and as a result, they struggled. Really looking to improve upon that tonight against Nicholls.
Z Hamoda into the game for the first time, the senior out of Bahrain. English working on Chandler, high off the glass as Garrison snares the rebound. Great feed inside, Dioubate gets it, throws it up, and it'll go.
So strong, that's his strength. He'll be phenomenal offensive rebounding the ball, defensive rebounding the ball, talking communication. Coach Pope just talked about how important he is to the basketball team because of his leadership. You can see it in everything that he does.
Searles inside. The basket still unfriendly here early for Nicholls, but the second chance for Jalen Searles is pure.
Good second effort.
Colin Chandler for the logo. Kentucky 0 for 4 from downtown here early on tonight. And now a tie-up. Possession will keep it with Nicholls. Mark Pope in his second year at the helm of this Kentucky program was pleased with how his team played in the preseason exhibitions. A win over #1 Purdue, a loss to Georgetown. He called a learning experience for his roster. Nicholls struggling to find space. Searles locked up right now by Dioubate. And now the turnover. Oweh going the other way, he's fouled. Maybe the first personal on Z Hamoda.
You talked about Coach Pope. What we just saw right there was a steal out of an out-of-bounds play. That goes to Coach Pope and his coaching staff. They go over the out-of-bounds plays and shoot-arounds in the morning. These guys paid attention. They took away the first option, and they were able to get in the passing lanes, making things hard. That goes to show how good a coach Mark Pope and his coaching staff really is with their attention to detail.
Details matter when you want to play winning basketball.
No question.
Quick hedge there from Malone. Kentucky still searching for their first three-point field goal. Brandon Garrison tries to give it to him, and the search continues. Oweh kept it in play, but threw it away. Hamoda stopped by Chandler. If you're Nicholls, how do you find consistent offense tonight against this length of Kentucky?
Well, I tell you what, you'd think that it would be taking guys off of the dribble, but Kentucky is standing up. After watching that Georgetown game, a lot of teams are going to try to take Kentucky off the dribble in isolation. Nicholls has tried that, but Chandler stand up and done a great job defensively. Otega over in that cut. Oh, it's tough.
Wanted the foul, didn't get the whistle.
So was Garrison, but
extra pass, open in the corner is English. And both teams have found a lid on the basket from downtown early, a combined 0 of 8. Colin Chandler looking to beat G. And another turnover for Kentucky. Couple here early on will not please Mark Pope.
I'll tell you what, they haven't had the under 4 timeout yet. And having experience, you really want the under 4 timeout to settle you down, catch your breath. These guys are a little bit breathing a little hard. This is the first game, you can tell it.
Chandler running the floor, the slam won't go, but the whistle will take us to our first break tonight here in Lexington. A beautiful night in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Kentucky up by 2 early. The Kentucky Wildcats, a supremely confident three-point shooting team over the last 2 seasons, but you struggle a little bit in exhibition play. 0 for 5 to start tonight. What's Nicholls doing well against them defensively?
Nicholls digs in on defense, especially guarding the three-point shot. Coach Sadler knows that they have to take that away if they want to stay in this game, and they're doing a great job of getting out high hands. Kentucky's had one open look. Other than that, they've all been pretty contested three-point shots.
Now, Mark Pope talks a lot about owning those three-point shots, and this is a Kentucky roster. You don't have Kobe Brea. He's playing in the NBA now. Jackson Robinson as well, a couple of the primetime shooters from a year ago. Who are some players they need to step up?
They're hoping Colin Chandler and Trent Noah can definitely get going. It's kind of been a lid on the bucket for them early. Colin Chandler had a wide open look. He just missed it. These shots are going to come as they get in the flow, as they get to know each other. It's still the first game. It's still really early in the season. Once they start to see a couple fall down, I think they'll be able to shoot the ball a little bit more confidently and make some threes.
So after the foul that sent us to break, Colin Chandler at the free throw line. That foul was on Jelavic Dunkley, a sophomore from Canada. Colin Chandler making his first career start. Overall, first career start at the point guard position tonight. Jalen Lowe unable to go once again. Kentucky fans hoping to get him back ahead of the Louisville game looming next week. Chandler will go 1 of 2 from the line. Battle for the rebound, and it is Hamoda that comes down with it. Free throw shooting at times during the exhibition game against Georgetown was a bit of Achilles heel for Kentucky.
65% from the free throw line. That's not going to cut it. Coach Pope wasn't happy about that. Free throws have been something they've been emphasizing.
Dunkley spins into the paint, pushed it off the glass. Battle for the rebound. And a foul.
That was really, really good defense by Trent Noah. One-on-one defense at the top of the key. You're all by yourself on an island, and he defended that island really, really well.
2 personal fouls already on Jelavic Dunkley, who went to a Final Four in the NAIA a year ago with Arizona Christian. So he comes out. Denzel Aberdeen on the floor for Kentucky, came in at the last whistle. Jasper Johnson, Cam Williams, and Malachi Moreno doing that as well, hearkening back to maybe those old line changes of the John Calipari era.
Yeah, 4 in. But, you know, it's a great thing for Mark Pope to be able to have that type of depth where you can go to 4 guys, 5 guys off the bench and still feel comfortable with the rotation.
Malachi Moreno A strong exhibition season for him in his first year with the Wildcats. Dioubate thought that one was deflected. He will not get the call. Sluggish start for both teams offensively.
Sluggish start, a couple unnecessary turnovers from Kentucky. They're going to really have to cut down on that. Assist to turnover ratio is going to have to go way up. It's 14 to 15 assist to turnovers against Georgetown. Really want to see that improve tonight.
Good trigger for Zayden Cross, who was a 20-point per game scorer a year ago at Tennessee Southern. Jasper Johnson in transition. Dioubate out for Aberdeen. He'll heap the three. It'll go!
That's Mo Diobate's three-pointer. I know Denzel Aberdeen made that three, but Mo got the offensive rebound, and it's such a great thing to get the offensive rebound, look straight to the three-point line, and get that wide-open three. Denzel hopefully takes the lid off of it for Kentucky.
Jalen Searles pulls over Moreno and an air ball, and he'll hear it from Big Blue Nation.
Again, we just talk about Mo's strength. Gets the rebound, kick out, there it is. Wide open three. Practice it every day.
For the Colonels are number 21, Nick Grass, and number 22, Jelavic.
Talked about the transfer additions. Denzel Aberdeen comes over from Florida, where he was a national champion a year ago. And to your point with Mo Dioubate, he's a gritty defender that this team didn't have a season ago.
Didn't have the guy that would stick his nose in there. Mo is going to do that and more, and be a real physical presence for this team, which is great for guys like Malachi Moreno, who's going to the line right now, to have to play against that and also have to watch that every day in practice.
Freshman connection right there from Jasper Johnson to Moreno, who will be at the free throw line. Kentucky team that went portal shopping in the offseason. Also bringing in a talented class of freshmen headlined by Moreno and Johnson. We talked about the transfers, 5 in total. Jaden Quaintance, we're all still waiting to see him make his debut in a Kentucky jersey, but bringing in guys like Dioubate and Aberdeen, who've been there late in the NCAA tournament, is going to pay off, I think, in March, Robbie.
Without a doubt. Aberdeen is coming off of a national championship. That type of experience is priceless. To hear that voice in the locker room, to be able to talk about those things to somebody like Jasper Johnson, you don't get that. National championships are hard to come by, and having that type of knowledge on your team is priceless.
Team's off to a poor shooting start. Nicholls trying to find some offense. It's been over 4 minutes since their last points. There's English, great feed inside. Malone is fouled in the act of shooting. So that will put the senior out of Chicago, Illinois, at the free throw line.
You saw that switch off. It was Moreno that was guarding the guard. And we talked earlier with Coach Alvinson, and what he said was the bigs actually have their own right. They can decide what they want to do on the screen. So on screen on the balls, it's up to the big. So the importance of communication for these guys when talking about the screens and understanding is important for everybody on the court. So the bigs have the right. If they want to switch, they can switch. He did that and did a pretty good job.
And I think at times early in this game, Malone and Nicholls, they've not put Kentucky in challenging spots. They do that time, it leads to points.
Exactly. That's what they want to do. Kentucky wants to keep guys out of the paint. They were able to touch the paint, and as a result, they got some free throws out of it.
Aberdeen running the show here for Kentucky. Cam Williams looking for a three, back iron. An offensive rebound for Jasper Johnson. He'll drive, kicks. Williams once again. And he has just not been able to get a three-point shot to go early on in his Kentucky career. The foul will take us to a break once again. Just 12 combined points in over 8 minutes of play. Both teams' offense is searching for their sea legs. Leading by 4, under 12 minutes to go in this first half. And for Nicholls, the last 2 seasons, they've been right there. You get to a semifinal last year, they were leading with a minute to go, end up losing that game the year before in the conference championship. And Tavon Sadler told us a lot of times their season's gonna come down to the final 48 to 72 hours.
That's the life of a mid-major. When you have a great season, but no matter what, you've got to win that conference tournament. And Nicholls, unfortunately, has come up short the last 2 seasons, but they're no pushover. As you can see, they had the first win in LSU their first season, Coach Sadler's first season, and that Southland Conference is not a cupcake. They've got McNeese, they've got teams like Lamar, teams that have made noise when they get to the tournament. So playing in that Southland Conference and coming out of that and winning that tournament is very, very difficult.
This Nicholls team beating the Fighting Will Wades at home a season ago. One of the darlings of the NCAA tournament a year ago. Will Wade departing in the offseason to take over at NC State. They had a big win last night in Raleigh.
Tavon being 30 years old, Southland Conference has really got a gem there as a head coach. Just really, really passionate about his players. Chris Grant, the commissioner of Southland Conference, he's got a star in the making down here at Nicholls State.
Malachi Moreno, the first free throw. Successful, in and out on the second. If you're Nicholls right now, just 1 of 10 from the field. Is the length of Kentucky bothering them?
It is, but at the same time, you're only down by 5 points. So Nicholls has to be extremely excited about where they are. They haven't played great. They don't feel like they have. And Kentucky is allowing them to stay in the game.
Battle for the basketball. Out last touch, they say, of Jelavic.
Checking in for the Colonels is number 2, Christian Winberg.
Jelavic in his first season of collegiate basketball after he played in the well-respected Adriatic League a season ago. Fresh 20 on the shot clock here for Nicholls to work with. Rice drives. It skips off the iron and down to Moreno.
Defensive breakdown there. Got all the way to the basket, just missed the bunny.
Kentucky struggling offensively as well. Jasper Johnson almost gave it away. And now it goes off of the foot of Moreno, and the Cats with 4 early turnovers here in the first half. Robbie, you really can sense what feels like nerves from both of these two teams playing in this opener.
This is the first game that matters. They know that. They understand that. There are going to be some nerves that come. I mean, you've got two freshmen out there.
That's his second and the team's second.
The transfer who hasn't played in this arena on a real game yet, so there are going to be some nerves present. Just need to get in the flow. Take Oweh, comes to check back in.
Will most likely get Aberdeen, who was whistled for his second personal foul. Mark Pope keeping him in the game, though. Jelavic guarded English. Omoda, the long 3. But squandered by Sincere Malone as that one went off of the stop.
Along with Dioubate and Brandon Garrison.
Kentucky putting a couple of the starters back on the floor. Dioubate and Garrison as well as Oweh.
We're going to see a lot of lineups today from both teams. Nicholls is going to run them in and out as much as they can, and Mark Pope is still trying to find the right balance, the right chemistry, and guys are still getting used to playing with each other. As you can see, Jasper running the point now.
Pope told us earlier in the week that's one of the big differences this year. He's just not had all of his pieces together at one time, dealing with some injuries as Williams loses that one out of bounds.
Again, that's another turnover, unforced turnover, where guys are just moving and they're not expecting the other guy.
Is Trent Noah.
Kim Williams coming out as Trent Noah checks back in. Nicholls just 1 for their first of 13 in this contest from the field. Christian Winborn dialed up the 3. See if the starters can jumpstart this stagnant Kentucky offense. Bullet pass. Oweh unable to blow by Winborn. Bullies his way into the paint, pushes it back out for Garrison. Plenty of time to work if you're Kentucky. Dioubate out of control. Oweh tried to tip it back. And now a foul will go against Jalen Searles as Dioubate continues to battle on the offensive glass.
Nicholls is doing a great job of taking away options for Kentucky. They understand what's going on. They've watched film, and they're taking things away from Kentucky. Kentucky's not doing a great job of moving bodies, moving the ball. Kind of getting stagnant, and as a result, they're taking harder shots and being forced to make harder shots than probably necessary.
The Colonels dealing with some early foul trouble. Jelavic Dunkley, who started tonight with 3 personals already in this first half. That was the second foul on Jalen Searles that sends him to the bench. Dioubate stepping to the free throw line. Told earlier today that Dioubate off the court's just one of those guys that you see what you get. He's been a glue piece for this Kentucky roster here early on and misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Ahead of the pack, gets English, and Johnson blocks it off the backboard.
What a block by Jasper.
Kentucky trying to capitalize on the defensive stand. It's Oweh!
Defense to offense at its finest. What a block by Jasper to get up and time that just right without fouling, get the ball out, get it in transition, and get going. Kentucky's going to have to do that if they want to score, as Nicholls is really, really tough defensively.
Jalen Rice makes the turn downhill, spins, loses the basketball. Kentucky choosing not to use the numbers advantage. Instead, they'll work in the half court. Oweh, fouled.
And again, as you can see, Jasper Johnson just times that up perfectly, gets it. Trent Noah has the mindset to get the ball up the court, and Big Mo brings the ball down, finds Otega Oweh for the easy finish. Really impressed with Jasper Johnson's timing.
Johnson certainly known as much more of an offensive weapon in his high school and club career that saw him average over 20 points per game on that overtime elite circuit.
That's what he does. He's an offensive player. That's his deal. It's good to see him sticking his nose in there, getting blocks. He's got an offensive rebound. He's doing things that are going to keep him on the basketball court as a freshman.
Top 20 recruit in this last year's class.
It's a Kentucky kid.
Grew up here in Lexington as Otega Oweh hits both free throws. Kentucky starting to stretch the lead. It is 9 with under 9 to go here in this first half.
We talk about Nicholls' defense. Let's not sleep on Kentucky's defense right now. They're making it extremely hard for Nicholls. They're taking them out of things. As you can see, that ball trap right there.
English, a tough 2. Rewarded with the foul. That goes on Otega Oweh. Just the 3rd foul here in the first half for Kentucky. They've been very disciplined against this Nicholls offense.
You can see Garrison showing big show there. Oweh just kind of opened up and let him get that lane to the basket. But all in all, Mark Pope has to be pleased with what he's seen defensively from his Cats.
Trey English, one of 3 returning starters for this Nicholls team. He spent all 5 seasons of his career playing Southland basketball. The first 3 at McNeese, now 2 here for Nicholls. There's some good basketball played down in the Southland.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And Coach Sadler just talked about how important Trey was going to be to his team. He said it's an extension of him. He's been with them for so long. It's really, really comfortable for him to have him on the court, and almost like a coach on the court.
Jasper Johnson considered the 3, passed it up. Dioubate will take it off the iron and down for Crass. And now English not on the same page there with his teammate Sincere Malone, as that one landed in the Kentucky bench. Like Cody Feger might have made a nice play over there.
I think he got in the game.
Pitched ahead to Noah. Now Kentucky sets up the offense. Noah over Hamoda, too strong. And the long rebound comes down to the senior from Bahrain, but he'll throw it away. Kentucky with numbers. Johnson open for 3, too strong. As Kentucky's 3-point shooting woes continue. Just 1 of 12 and 1 for their last 25 over their last 2 halves of basketball. Dioubate has Kentucky in the lead at 7 at the under 8. Finally, some offense here in Rupp Arena. A fan in a Malik Monk jersey hitting a half-court shot a few moments ago to take home 10 grand. Hoping that jump starts both teams offensively. Speaking of offensive struggles right now, for Nicholls, just 1 for 15. Tavon Sadler, how do you find offense here?
He's going to have to draw up something and execute. They're going to have to set their screens a little bit harder. He needs Trey English to get them into something that's going to get them an easy bucket somehow, some way. So let's look to see what type of screen they're going to set, what type of action. We've got to hold a little bit longer and hopefully execute to get an open look. There it is.
It has been now 9 minutes without a field goal for Nicholls. English guarded by Garrison, deep in the shot clock. Drives inside, and will find his way to the free throw line. Foul goes on Jelavic, his first.
Defensively, Kentucky looks strong. They are long, they're using their length. Right there, that was Brandon Garrison guarding the point guard. He sat down, guarded his yard. Yes, there was a miscommunication with him and Jelavic. Big screen. You don't see that very often, but because of the matchups, the way that it played out, Jelavic didn't hear the switch, and that's what caused the breakdown. But all in all, Kentucky has played phenomenal defense. Nicholls is not used to seeing this. They haven't practiced against this. They haven't played against guys that are this long, this strong, this athletic. And I know that that is disrupting their offense and making the shots a little bit more difficult than they're used to.
One of two at the line.
Nicholls with the token pressure here just to slow Kentucky down a bit, keep them out of rhythm.
Kentucky looking for a look in the interior. Instead, Oweh chucked the three.
Oh boy.
Scramble for the basketball. Trent Noah came down. There's 3 bodies on the floor. And it looks like Trent Noah might have got the worst of it.
I don't know. Like his ankle. Hate to see that.
Kentucky fans who have already seen their team dealing with injuries early on this year, you do not want to see another one, as Trent Noah will be attended to by the trainer, Brandon Wells. Mark Pope's team already without Jalen Lowe, the starting point guard. Jaden Quaintance working his way back from an ACL tear a season ago at Arizona State. And Trent Noah appears to be in quite a bit of pain.
Yeah, took a bad step at the end. Saw the ankle flare out a little bit, but hopefully it's not going to be too bad. But man, those are painful.
Nervous looks on many a Big Blue Nation here inside Rupp Arena. Here's a look back at that play.
Yep. Rolled over on it.
I don't want to see that again.
Yeah. Good news, it looks like he's putting a decent amount of pressure on that. And we've all had ankle sprains before. Hopefully it's nothing that will be too long and keep him out of the game. Keep him out of action for too long. He may not come back tonight.
So Trent Noah will be attended to. Kentucky will have the basketball. Otega Oweh underneath. Cam Williams coming in. They've been looking for Brandon Garrison a couple times on the last few possessions. But Jasper Johnson uses the teardrop for 2.
Just an absolute scorer. He's a walking bucket. He saw a mismatch, had the defender, got him going one way, quick change of direction with the cross, nice teardrop bucket in the lane.
Hamoda for 3 in the first basket in over 10 minutes for Nicholls. A long time coming. Unfortunately, still only down by 5. Jelavic off the glass, fight for the rebound. English wins it. Crass firing away. Long rebound to Williams. Johnson gives it up. Jelavic, extra step, and the finish in the interior.
Good to see Jelavic finish that. Had an easy bucket last time, missed it. Concentrated finish through the contact there. Jasper Johnson's doing a really good job pushing the basketball up for Kentucky.
Hamoda looking for a second 3. This time the Rupp Arena rim unfriendly. Jasper Johnson still trying to find his footing on this Kentucky roster. A little bit buried on the depth chart, but taking advantage of the opportunity as he gets 4 here in the early stages.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He's a one-on-one machine. Very, very hard to guard, especially when he's the live dribble kind of guy. If he gets you one-on-one, where he can go downhill and have you at his will, there's nothing you're going to be able to do with him. Look at that pity pat. Stop. I'm a lefty, guys. And there it is. Nice lay by Jasper Johnson. Again, takes his time, sizes them up, gets back. Left-handers are hard to defend, and when you're as talented and skilled as Jasper Johnson, it's almost impossible.
Nicholls using their first timeout, and Jasper Johnson was one of the true breakout stars of the exhibition season. Had that 15 points in that win over #1 Purdue in that first exhibition game. I think he's going to be one of those guys that you're going to see maybe go up and down as he tries to progress until he can find some of that consistency. But this is a guy with a long lineage of being a Wildcat.
Great athlete, and it comes from from everyone down. You know, his father, Derek, played at Kentucky, defensive end. Dennis played at Kentucky. Derek, his uncle, played at Kentucky. Dennis was in the league for the Arizona Cardinals for quite some time. So being an athlete is in his blood. He thought he was going to pick up some cleats, but he went for the hardwood instead.
Hamoda starting on the sideline. 7th turnover this first half for the Nicholls Colonels. Despite Nicholls not scoring in over 10 minutes in this game, Kentucky only leading by 9 here as we work with under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Colin Chandler back in running the show at the point. Drives on Malone. Jelavic wide open. Kentucky 1 for 13 from outside tonight.
That was an absolute dime, though. Colin Chandler did exactly what he needed to do. Getting to the basket, one-handed pass out to a wide open Jelavic. He just missed the shot.
Malone working on Moreno. And heading right back to the free throw line.
The foul is on Williams. That's his first and the team's 5th.
Really good move. He sees he has Malachi on him. Knows he's faster. He's a senior. It's a senior taking on a freshman, and the senior just took the freshman to school.
The foul goes on Cam Williams after the reach in there. It'll put Malone at the free throw line. He took over as a starter down the stretch last year, starting the final 14 games of the year for Nicholls a season ago. Probably 17 different starting lineup combinations for Nicholls in their first 21 games last year.
We talked to Coach earlier. He said that they are a production-based team. You get your minutes based on your production. So there's no daddy ball over there at Nicholls. You're going to play, you get in the game, you produce, you stay. If not, it's time to sit down.
Got to ride the hot hand.
Exactly.
Williams gives it up. Battle for the basketball. Aberdeen comes down with it. They said it was touched. Into the backcourt. Aberdeen cuts through the defense and finishes at the 10.
Really well done by Aberdeen, picking and probing, taking his time. Didn't rush. Knew he had the numbers. Found his way all the way to the basket.
English considered the 3. Now Malone dials one up. Second chance created here by Cross. He'll trigger a 3. Aberdeen has it. Raining threes as Colin Chandler knocks one down.
Having Aberdeen back in the lineup, you can see how greatly he was missed against the Georgetown exhibition game. Just his presence alone, getting downhill, getting to the basket, coming up, getting it off, getting the defensive rebound, pushing the ball up, controlled, finding Chandler open.
He does so many of the little things right. 5 on the shot clock. English couldn't push it home. Kentucky running. Williams guarded by English, goes inside. Moreno had the mismatch. Aberdeen sways into the tray. Back out for Chandler. Aberdeen giving it another go. Airballs it.
We have a timeout.
Kentucky starting to find their rhythm offensively. Denzel Aberdeen was missed in the final exhibition game against Georgetown. That's why, driving to the tin, and then Colin Chandler off of the dish, knocks down a big three. Defense was a major emphasis for Kentucky and Mark Pope in the offseason. Right now in the home opener, holding Nicholls to just 9% from the field, Robbie.
9% from the field is unheard of. The fact that these guys are shooting single-digit percentage is something that Mark Pope has to be pleased with. It just goes to show the focus. That loss to Georgetown in an exhibition that didn't matter really did matter as far as building this team, understanding where they're going to have to build their confidence and how they're going to be powerful moving forward to be a very, very good basketball team.
Mark Pope has said that that loss was a learning lesson for this team. One of the areas that he pinpointed was their gap defense. Robbie, when you watch them play tonight, how have they already improved that?
So when he says gap defense, he means the spaces in between. So let's say you're guarding your defender one-on-one. You say you kind of get by. The guy that's in the gap, it takes that away. So you don't have the lane that you think you have. And it might be there, but as long as you're big enough and you're showing long enough, you take that away. Kentucky's been amazing there. That's why Nicholls hasn't been very successful. Just right there, Colin Chandler in the gap. Aberdeen sets up in the gap. They're doing a good job responsibility-wise and making shots really, really hard, just like that one.
Hamoda missed the tough shot, but Crass creates a second chance. Malone right into the body of Johnson. They will call the blocking foul on Jasper Johnson, and Mark Pope is irate.
He did take that one pretty close. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
So Johnson picks up his first personal. Big Blue Nation letting this officiating crew know what they thought of that call.
Yep, they're asking for the challenges.
English got Jelavic in the air. Malone guarded by the freshman Moreno. He throws it away. Jelavic driving, spinning, comes up short. Moreno tried to clean up the mess, but couldn't hang on to it.
There's two examples of physical play. You see Mo checking back in, you see Garrison checking back in. Jelavic didn't finish through his legs there. He had the nice spin move, should have powered up, didn't. Moreno got the offensive rebound, got it taken away because he wasn't strong. Learning lessons in the exhibition, in the first game.
Johnson driving into the teeth of the defense. Maybe gets a makeup call right there. 10th foul on Nicholls here, putting Kentucky in the double bonus. They will shoot 2 for the remainder of this first half.
Coach Pope's going to want to see both of these go in. They're 4 for 9 right now from the free throw line. Something they struggled with against Georgetown, something there's been an emphasis on, both in shoot-arounds and practices. It's time to step up and knock down free throws.
This Kentucky team at the end of practice yesterday doing a drill where each player had to make 2. If you missed 2 in a row, you had to run some 22s, Robbie. And I know you don't have fond memories of 22s.
22s are not fun. And at the pace they're going right now, it looks like that may be implemented again.
Johnson 1 of 2. Kentucky with their largest lead of 13, but a slow start offensively in this home opener. They were one of the top offenses in college basketball a season ago. Far from it early. English working on Chandler, throws it up and it'll go.
Basket by English.
The persistence to get downhill by Trey English.
Chandler, that's his first of the team set.
You see, in the gap, takes the bump, finishes through contact, nice lay. Trey English, another guy that Coach Sadler is really going to lean on this season as Nicholls goes into Southland Conference play.
Moments like this, you need guys like English, one of the leaders on this team, to step up. He does it there and completes the three-point play. 6 in the first half for Nicholls to lead all scorers. Under a minute to go in this low-scoring first half from Rupp Arena. This is an opener for both of these teams. A foul called on the entry
The foul is on Crass. That's his
Goes on Crass, his second, and 4 of the 5 starters now for Nicholls with at least 2 personal fouls. That'll be something to keep an eye on in the second half.
Without a doubt. Something you usually see when
Dioubate
big major
on the line,
D1 schools play mid-majors. It's the foul discrepancy. The size discrepancy usually leads to foul discrepancy, and that's what we're seeing right now in Nicholls' first game.
Checking in for Kentucky is
Dioubate has been a bright spot for Kentucky in this first half.
Kentucky fans will love Dioubate. He just brings his lunch pail to work every single day. You know what you're going to get, and he gives it to you every single time. Mr. Consistency, Mr. Hard Hat. Mo Dioubate will be a staple for this Kentucky basketball team.
Kentucky shooting just 50% from the free throw line, 6 of 12 in this opening half. Nicholls content to take time off the clock here and get a good look.
Gap coverage right there by Colin.
Good closeout by Chandler. English lines up the 3. Halfway down and out. Last touched by Grant Sanders, who came skying in.
Again, another excellent defensive possession by Kentucky.
Shot clock off. Kentucky can hold for the final shot of this first half. They will use a timeout here to make sure that they get a good look. Sluggish start for Kentucky offensively, but Robbie, if you're the Wildcats, you have an opportunity to salvage some pride here late in this first half if you can get a basket.
Without a doubt. Coach Pope's going to draw up something to give them a good look at going into the half, give them a little bit more momentum. The bottom line is they've had good looks. They just haven't made the shots. So Coach Pope will address that at halftime and say, you know, guys, we're fine. We're doing just fine. We're going to make shots in the second half, and that's what's going to propel them and go. But again, defensively is where Pope is going to be the happiest, and as long as they can continue to do that, they can take care of business with Nicholls, and they'll do that along the way throughout the season.
Now you speak about momentum for Kentucky, but on the flip side, if you're Nicholls, if you can get a stop, that could buoy you into the second half.
No question. If you're Nicholls and you're down 11 going into the half at Rupp Arena, you feel really, really good. You scored 15 points. They have to believe that they're better than 15 points in a half. So they're going in full of confidence as well. Kentucky's going to have their hands full coming back out because Nicholls is not going to give up, and they're going to continue to play hard and pound away and do the best they can to shock the world.
Keep an eye on Oweh and Jasper Johnson, 2 of the best shooters on the floor. Dioubate maybe a dark horse candidate if Kentucky can get a good look. 10 seconds remain in this first half.
Nicholls comes out in the zone.
Johnson up top for Brandon Garrison. The emphatic slam. Now Nicholls with a final heave off the mark. And Kentucky will take a 13-point edge into the half here in Lexington. A quiet first half for both teams offensively. Colin Chandler trying to jumpstart it. Hamoda's been good for Nicholls, but it's Kentucky by double figures at the break. Here in Lexington, Kentucky up by 13 at the break over Nicholls out of the Southland Conference. And all you really got to know, both teams, an ugly shooting first half, Robbie.
Really struggling to get going. But let's talk about defensively. Both teams have dug in, really making it hard for their opponent. They've done good scouting, making it hard for their opponent to get good shots, clean looks. But the shooting has been pretty bad.
Kentucky wanted to improve the defense in the offseason. Their early returns on that look strong. 15 points allowed in the first half, the fewest that they've allowed since 2019. Robbie, where have you seen the biggest improvements? Yes, it's still early from this Kentucky defense when you compare it to last season.
Last season, defensively, we were soft. We weren't able to help. We weren't able to contain or get in the gaps and help like they wanted to. As you can see, the development from just the Georgetown game to this game has been astronomical. They've really done a really good job of keeping guys in front of them. And glass half full kind of guy, if you're Kentucky, you're very, very happy with the defensive performance.
If you're into advanced analytics, last year, Ken Palm had Kentucky the 51st best defense. That's a good sign right there. Trent Noah running around at halftime was starting to warm up. Still have not been told if he is going to come back into this game, but back to that defensive point I was making, no team has won a national championship with a Ken Palm defensive efficiency lower than 25. Mark Pope said, we want to be a top 10 defensive team this season.
That's exactly what they want to do. Well on their way.
Here's Oweh, drives and finishes. Already a better look to begin the second half.
That's an easy way to get your field goal percentage up. Shoot shots at the rim. Oweh doing what he does best, that's attack the basket. Let's look to him to do more of that this half.
And now a turnover here. Colin Chandler driving on Crass, who had 2 personals. It's ripped away by Malone. Foul trouble, something to keep an eye on if you're Nicholls in this second half. 4 of the 5 starters with 2+ personals. Jelavic Dunkley has 3. He's still on the bench. No, right there, he takes the 3. Too strong as Dioubate came down with it. He snuck back in there at halftime. Kentucky better flow offensively already. Colin Chandler hits the corner 3.
I really think Kentucky can get flowing offensively a little bit more with Aberdeen at the point. Noah's out with the injury, but this lineup should be able to flow into their offense a little bit easier.
Inside is Malone. Those were the looks that Nicholls just wasn't able to get many of in that first half. Had to settle for quite a few bad shots. Aberdeen in the pick and roll game. Garrison at position inside. Aberdeen off the glass. And Kentucky with a quick 7 to begin the second half.
Phenomenal shot. Aberdeen picked and probed, saw he had the mismatch, took his time, get to the baseline, get to the other side, finish through contact. What a shot. Very good. That's just another thing that Aberdeen brings to the game. I really like him at the point guard spot. Just like when Jalen Lowe comes back, those guys just help Kentucky play at the pace that they need to play, especially to get in their flow offensively. Let's see if he can finish this off by making a free throw.
Aberdeen came off the bench. He missed the final exhibition game with what was dubbed a leg strain, but appearing to be fully healthy out there, starting in the lineup here to begin the second half in place of Trent Noah, who we saw go down with that ankle injury. Trent Noah has made his way back out onto the Kentucky bench. We'll see if he comes back into this game. Jelavic Dunkley took the long 3 the last time down. Crass working baseline, nowhere to go. Here's Dunkley. Much like his name, that man's got some bounce.
So springy. We saw that today in shoot-around, just how athletic he is. Him having 3 fouls in the first half really hurt Nicholls. He's somebody they depend on. And Dioubate just showing his strength right there, getting an easy lay. But Nicholls getting back to Dunkley, really dependent on him. And look for him to have a bigger half and for Nicholls to play through him a little bit more.
He's a guy the coaching staff says has high major athleticism. You saw it on display a moment ago. Dunkley working on Chandler. Now Trey English, the long 3. Air ball in this capacity crowd letting him hear about it.
Chandler gets just a wide open naked cut. Pope's not going to be happy about that. But just look at the athleticism on that kid. If only back in the day, back in the day.
That was a long time ago, Robbie. I think you could still do it, though.
You're always ragging on how old I am.
I've got to.
It's tough, man.
You're the old head on the crew.
I am the old head. Come on. It's all good.
Dioubate guarded by Hamoda. Has a size mismatch. Bullet pass for Oweh. 1 on the shot clock. He won't get it off. Now Nicholls pushing numbers forward. Dunkley couldn't get the shot off. Now does. It may have been deflected.
This is the pace that Kentucky's comfortable at.
Oweh from the corner. Yes, sir.
When you're comfortable, you make shots. They get up and down. They're defending. They're running. Making the extra pass. And that's what happens.
Kentucky with their largest lead. The offense has awoken, and Big Blue Nation could not be more pleased. Kentucky offense has awoken. It couldn't have come at a better time. Robbie, what's changed?
Denzel Aberdeen being inserted into the starting lineup for the second half has really jump-started Kentucky's offense. He's a natural point guard that puts everybody back in their natural position. Colin Chandler's able to go back to the 2. Otega Oweh's at the 3. They're in the position what they're most comfortable with,
where they get the most shots in practice, and it just kind of flows. The offense will run better with Denzel Aberdeen, with Jalen Lowe at the point guard for these Kentucky Wildcats.
You get the sense that as this season progresses and Mark Pope gets back some of these highly touted pieces, this offense could really round into nice shape.
Without a doubt, he's missing his engine. We're missing the engine that makes Kentucky basketball go in Jalen Lowe. Denzel is going to be a phenomenal backup point guard, as we can see right now. But once we get Jaden Quaidon, once Kentucky gets Jaden Quaidon's back and their full potential, Kentucky can be a very, very dangerous team.
Many around Lexington hoping that this team can complete the assignment. That is a mantra hung in the Joe Kraft Center that they stare at every day in practice. The goal to winning 9th national championship. Kentucky has not won one since that 2012 season. Get a foul here. It goes on Brandon Garrison. Was not pleased with that call.
Like we alluded to earlier, it starts on the defensive end. You're not going to win a national championship if you can't defend. And Kentucky is showing that they have championship pedigree by what they've done with Nicholls right now.
Hamoda looking inside for Grant Sanders. Nowhere to go. The drive, the pull from Zayden Cross, well short. Open in the corner. Sanders passed up the three. Deep in the shot clock. And the prayer is answered.
Still
Basket by Dunkley.
Dunkley with 4 points for Nicholls here in the second half. He began his career at Arizona Christian, an NAIA school. As Kentucky misses their first shot of this second half. And that will take us right back to break. Kentucky getting going just in the nick of time. They're up by 20 at the under 16. Offense going. Kentucky Wildcats coming in ranked 9th in the preseason AP poll, 2nd in the SEC behind a Florida team that, Robbie, went down on opening night to Arizona yesterday.
Tough to call it an upset. I think Arizona's a very, very good team, but Florida is still going to be the cream of the crop in the SEC with Kentucky right behind. Very, very good Tennessee and Alabama teams. I mean, the SEC, again, will be a loaded conference. Expecting to get, what, 10 to 12 teams in the tournament when it's all said and done.
Tennessee and Alabama looking strong early on in this year. Arkansas passing their first test yesterday against Southern. Purdue, Texas Tech, and Duke in action tonight for the first time. Talking about Duke, it's the first time we get to see the Boozer twins.
The Boozer twins is what all the buzz is about. I tell you what, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Those kids can play basketball. Really excited to see what they can bring to the national showcase when they get on the court tonight.
Kentucky with the basketball here, out of the timeout. 5 for their first 6 from the field in the second half as Dioubate coughs it up. English pushing in transition as Grant Sanders throws down the transition dunk.
That's what Nicholls wants to do. They are athletic. In the Southland Conference, they're going to be just fine with their athleticism. We're seeing bigger, stronger, faster right now tonight and struggling with that a little bit.
Oh, the no-look find. Aberdeen locates Garrison for a dunk of his own.
Example right there. Garrison physically just way bigger than those guys.
Quick note on the Southland Conference, choosing not to put out a preseason poll for the second season in a row, but Nicholls expected to be amongst the best in that conference this season. Back-to-back 20-win seasons in the first 2 years under Taven Sadler. As the three goes down, Hamoda has his second three of the evening. Oweh steps into one of his own. Halfway down and out.
I don't mind not putting out a preseason poll. I kind of like it. Let the guys play and let the teams show how good they are.
Hey, the only thing we know about a preseason poll is most of the time they're wrong.
Exactly.
Quick trigger, Dunkley for 3. Down for Aberdeen. Really does feel like this game has opened up a bit here in the second half. I will call that an assist. Aberdeen to Oweh. And a chance for a three-point play.
Said, look what I found. Aberdeen lost it on the dribble, but sometimes when you play hard and you're in the right place, the ball just finds you. And there's Oweh getting down to the basket, finishing. But yeah, as you can see, the game has opened up for both teams. They're flowing, the offense is flowing a little bit more. The shots look more comfortable and more natural. So it's really good to see both teams kind of finding their legs here in the second half of the home opener.
Robbie, Halloween was at the end of last week. In a play like that, it kind of feels like when you pull up to someone's house and find the full-size candy bars.
Oh, yeah. Everybody wants those full-size. Give me some of those easy layups. I'll take them.
Those are the houses you go back to the next year.
Oh, that's what you mark on the map.
Cross pulls up. Aberdeen again goes up and grabs it. Straight line drive off the glass. Could have been called a goaltending.
Could have been a goaltending. You got a piece of that. Not sure if it was in the cylinder or not.
We'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt. They've called a good game so far tonight. English was wide open in the corner, gave up the three. Johnson got in the passing lane. Oweh, preseason SEC Player of the Year, hard to the tin and draws the contact.
Incredibly hard to stop getting to the basket.
That is on Malone. That's his fourth and the team's third.
Otega Oweh on quite a few lists to begin this preseason, and why not after the year he had last year. Entered his name into the NBA draft, chose to come back here to Lexington for a senior season, and I think one of the neat things of Otega Oweh's story, when he graduates this year, he's going to be the first ever college graduate in his family.
It's got to be incredibly special. He comes from an incredibly special family. He's got a brother in the NFL, kind of has a similar build to Otega, I would say. But being the first to graduate from a university like Kentucky has got to be a very, very special thing for Otega Oweh.
Robbie, when you look at Otega Oweh's next step, what is that this season?
The next step is to really develop a three-point shot where he's comfortable and can get it off against defenders. Create the spots, create a three-point shot on his own. If he can do that, he'll really step up and make himself a little bit more attractive to NBA scouts going down the road. As far as this team is concerned, he just needs to continue to lead, be a leader defensively and offensively, and have the team follow his physical presence and physical toughness.
He has 9 quick points here in the second half, but goes to the bench for a quick breather. Kim Williams back on the floor for Kentucky. Hamoda tried to split the double team, instead draws the personal foul on Williams. It's his second. You really get the sense right now Cam Williams, who transfers over from Tulane in the offseason, really still trying to find his place on this team.
Definitely trying to find his way. Hasn't found exactly where he's supposed to shoot the basketball yet. He's shooting a low percentage, but that's only because he hasn't taken the best shots yet. So he's still a guy trying to understand the offense, get in the flow, and find his legs. I think, again, he will be more comfortable as the season progresses and as Kentucky comes back to full strength.
Kentucky looking into the post for Moreno. Back out for Aberdeen, who's been the catalyst to this offensive barrage. Johnson hits it.
Let's pass, step in, three-point shot in rhythm. Those are the shots that Kentucky's going to make.
Sanders looking for an answer, and that one off the shot clock. Kentucky will get the basketball back.
Checking in for the Colonels is number 21, Nick Krantz.
1, 2. You shot that shot 1,000 times in a month. You're going to make that shot.
They get a pretty high rating on the Noah machine inside the practice gym that tracks where those shots go through the cylinder. Awfully pure there from Jasper Johnson. Freshman to freshman, Moreno inside. Couldn't hit the shot.
Defense by Nicholls.
Nicholls pushing. Searles throws it up and will be at the free throw line when we come back. Basketball is back, and so is the soft serve here in Lexington, Kentucky, up by 24 midway through the second. Kentucky needed a spark offensively, and in this second half, Otega Oweh has given them one.
Doing what he does best, getting to the basket. We talked about the expectations for him as SEC Player of the Year. It's really easy because the way that he plays is getting to the cup and shooting layups. When you can do that, you're going to get the points. It's going to open up the three-point shot, and you can see why he is preseason all-team first SEC.
A look at the first-team All-SEC Alex Condon leading the way there for Florida. Let's talk about that Florida team once again, because that's a team that has a great front court. The back court, though, I think is going to be a bit of a work in progress after you lose Elijah Martin, Walter Clayton Jr., and Will Richard.
And Denzel Aberdeen. Let's not forget them. They lost the guy that was there, and having a backcourt in March is when it really matters. We saw that as they carried them along with that strong front court. Losing them is a big deal. They're still trying to find missing pieces. They got Boogie Fland in from Arkansas, trying to see if he can fill some of the voids that have been left, but still going to be a big question mark is that Florida backcourt going into the season.
Robbie, how good is it to just be talking about basketball again?
Oh, it's so good. Oh, hoops is back. This is Christmas in Kentucky for me. I love this. Nothing better than real basketball.
Feels like forever ago that the college basketball season came to an end last year with Florida cutting down the nets. Kentucky has thoughts of doing that here this season. Their largest lead of this game, it's 24. They've outscored Nicholls 22-11 so far in the second half.
Nicholls coming out on the defense, zone defense, try to throw some different looks at Kentucky.
Jelavic, basically a free throw, calmly sinks it.
That's what he's so good at, finding a gap in the zone and just shooting a soft shot. He has a great touch. We saw Midnight Madness, shooting threes. He's got a very, very smooth jump shot. Just has to get it off.
Hamoda triggers the three, short with it. Aberdeen having a big second half so far. Inside, Moreno, and that's 4 second half assists for Denzel Aberdeen.
It's the pace that he plays with. He gets downhill, he got into the lane, made the spin move, excellent pass. Moreno finally powered up, finished strong with 2 hands, puts it down. Aberdeen just brings a different pace to this Kentucky basketball team.
Searles hoisted up the 3. Kentucky goes the other way. Aberdeen steps into one. Too strong. Out of bounds, though. It will stay with Kentucky.
Checking in for the Colonels,
Good move, great look. Moreno may have gotten away with some steps there, but nonetheless, look at that. Handling the ball, controlling the ball. And the pace is contagious. Once you play at the right pace, guys understand that. You see Jasper bringing the ball up the court quickly. It's just different level when Aberdeen's in the game.
Robbie, you know as well as I do, that's called continuation these days.
Yeah.
You've seen Giannis with Milwaukee. He gets about 5 steps on every basket. Jasper Johnson couldn't hit the tray. Long rebound goes down to Dunkley. Ahead of the pack now, Grant Sanders with the flush.
Basket by Sanders.
Much different pace of a game here in the second half from both sides. Good roll, Moreno, the tough catch, and gets it to go down.
Great roll. Nicholls is playing more free the second half as well, though. Getting in the paint, getting to the basket, fast breaks.
Great looks right here from Kentucky.
Without a doubt. Understand, this is freshman to freshman. Kentucky boy to Kentucky boy. Using the screen and roll. Moreno slips when he doesn't feel the contact of the defender anymore. Jasper finds him with a great pass, and he has the strength to finish.
Moreno, Mr. Kentucky basketball last year after an incredible senior campaign at Great Crossings High School up in Scott County. Over 21 points per game, close to 15 rebounds. And Robbie, if that wasn't good enough, almost 4 blocks per contest as well. He was a man amongst boys last year.
A man amongst boys, and he's becoming a man amongst men. He's had a phenomenal freshman debut so far. Brandon Garrison in practice every day says that Malachi Moreno is making him better. And I know that Brandon Garrison is making Malachi better. Expect to see a lot of him this year at Kentucky basketball. Great finish.
Here's Brandon Garrison, drives the paint. It skips off, gets a second try at it, and it goes through.
That's the athletic ability that Coach Sims was talking about earlier today. Brandon Garrison is a great athlete. That was not an easy catch. He caught, gathered, and was able to make an athletic finish after a miss. Really well done.
Rice rises up.
Basket by Rice.
Another super athletic guy. We saw him today, shoot around. He can really jump. Really, really great athlete. Nicholls may be down a lot, but they'll be okay when it comes to Southland.
Jasper Johnson as his defender on skates. Used the basket to his advantage, but couldn't float it in. Wide open in the corner is Rice. Drives.
Basket by Rice.
Accepted the contact and finished it. Ahead for Williams.
Head, I didn't see that coming. Woo!
Maybe that'll get him going.
So, ran the floor. Jasper had his head up. Great look ahead pass there by Jasper. And a great finish at the basket by Cam.
Kentucky 13 made baskets in this second half. 10 of them have been assisted. A strong percentage so far. Dunkley drives baseline. Chandler met him in the air, picks up the personal, and Dunkley will have a chance for more at the free throw line.
Look ahead pass by Jasper. Sam Williams' finish is tough. Saw the defender coming and still said, hey, come get it, big fella. And then Dunkley just showing his athleticism, finishing through contact. And, we're finally playing basketball now, Noah. I think. We're getting up and down, and basketball is finally being played.
It was like we saw plenty of nerves from both teams, and you can expect that in a season opener, a home opener for Kentucky.
A lot of thinking. For the ball there. A lot of thinking in the first half. Now they're actually just out here playing basketball. Things are flowing for both teams, and the game is a lot cleaner.
Working the two-man game, Chandler and Garrison. Chandler serpentines around, finds Dioubate. Has a mismatch here on Sanders, and Sanders called for the personal. Kentucky has stretched the lead to 24 here in Lexington, and Colin Chandler's heating up.
Colin Chandler's heating up, and so is Nicholls. More action when we get back.
Year in the history of Rupp Arena. This is the 50th year of basketball. Robbie, you got to play in here for 4 years. What makes this Coliseum so special?
When it gets going, there's no place like this in the country. Super loud. I remember Florida game. They came in #1 overall. A Tuesday night game. We just got the eruption zone. It was brand new, and this place rocked. My ears rung for a good 3 days straight after that game. Unbelievable atmosphere.
One of the toughest places to play for opponents in the country, and Nicholls has certainly felt that tonight. Just under a capacity crowd tonight for this home opener of the 25-26 season. Start with a foul here with under 8 minutes to go in this second half. A packed student section there in that end zone next to the Kentucky bench. The foul was on Rice a moment ago. Just his first. Kentucky trying to work it inside. They find Dioubate. He gets a step on his man and finishes at the 10.
Back to the left hand. Mo's doing what Mo's going to do. Great job by Colin Chandler, though. Probing. And then Mo bailing him out with the cut at the end of the clock.
Here's Dunkley. He's been a nice spark in the second half for Nicholls.
He's been able to play. He was in foul trouble early. Wasn't able to get out there.
Aberdeen, and that will be a goaltending.
That's an easy one. Aberdeen's plus-minus he's plus 18 in the plus-minus right now. So it just goes to show his value, what he can bring to the table for this Kentucky Wildcats team.
Plus 22 after that finish right there.
There we go.
9 points for Aberdeen in his return from injury. Rice working hard amongst the trees and will find his way back to the charity stripe. Kentucky with 6 fouls so far in this second half. Nicholls just 1 away from heading into the bonus. Senior out of Flora, Mississippi, Jalen Rice will shoot a pair. Off-season addition from Cleveland State, where he played for 2 years for the Vikings. Missed all but 1 game a season ago with a season-ending injury, and hoping that he can become a big piece of this rotation as the season progresses for the Colonels.
He definitely hasn't had the game that he wanted tonight so far. However, the outlook for him is positive. Extremely athletic, like we said earlier. And as he gets more comfortable in the system, he should be able to have a huge impact for Nicholls later on in the season.
He goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Kentucky shooting over 65% from the field in this second half. They've gotten great production from their guards. Colin Chandler, one of those guards, reigns hold the three.
Just using the screen perfectly. The defender was late to step out. Colin knows he can make that shot. Really good to see that go down. It's going to help his confidence.
The lead 30 for Kentucky. This was a 13-point game at the half. Kentucky putting their foot down so far in the second as Rice answers.
Three-point basket by Rice.
He's starting to feel it a little bit. Got to the free throw line, made some shots.
9 points on the evening for Jalen Rice, Nicholls' leading scorer for the moment. Chandler wants another, why not? Gone are the shooting woes of the first half for the Kentucky Wildcats. Chandler now with a career-high 13 points in his first career start tonight. Rice gave up the three. Crass hounded by Chandler. Dunkley inside, fouled from behind.
We're at the point of the game where both teams are really trying to run some offense now. I believe the outcome is well known, but both coaches want to come away with something here. As you can see, Colin Chandler has gotten a couple free looks, and I think Pope has run some plays for him. Gets comes off the down screen there. He just shot off the screen and roll. So Coach Pope probably wanted to get Colin a couple shots, get him some confidence going into the next game, because Kentucky definitely wants to shoot the ball better from three-point line.
Colin Chandler, coming out of high school, was one of the top basketball recruits in the country. Chose to go on a 2-year mission after his high school career. Last year, his first year of college basketball, playing sparingly, though played a lot of point down the stretch with injuries to Kirk Creason, Lamont Butler. You really feel like he's starting to find his footing and could find a way into this rotation if he continues to put up numbers like this, Robbie.
Definitely think he's going to get some minutes. He's going to get his opportunity and chance to play basketball this year. It's just a matter of, is it point guard? Is that where he's going to find his footing? I really think he would be more comfortable at the two-guard position, not having to have so much responsibility, and he can just come off screens like he just did and shoot. There's Oweh getting downhill.
Garrison was able to keep that one in play. Chandler.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! On his head! Oh! He just took him upstairs, dropped him off on the second, and said, "I'm going to the fifth, baby." Number 5. That's a top 5 Sports Center play right there. Wow. Whew.
Entire Kentucky fan base on their feet, and Jalen Rice silences them for a moment. But we've got to take a look back at that slam. Oh, Colin Chandler just put his man on a poster.
Oh, did he ever? Oh, my goodness. He sees the lane. Up, and away, big fella. Oh, and looked at him and told him, "Hey, I tell you what, this is one white man that can jump." Oh, nice finish. Oh my gosh. You got that, Noah?
I couldn't get up that high.
On a ladder.
The one
on
thing
2 ladders.
I know on a play like that, you just get out of the way.
Get out of the way. I don't think Nicholls read the scouting report on that one. Number 5 in white, he's got bunnies.
If you haven't seen Colin Chandler's dunk from Big Blue Madness earlier this year, he won the dunk contest with an assist from John Wall. I think that one's definitely in his career top 5.
That's career top 5. If that's not number 1, I don't know what is. So, career. Maybe he had one in high school that was better, but just shows the athleticism and the depth that Kentucky has.
Hey, that's coming from a guy who's never been able to even grab the rim, Robbie, so take it for what it's worth. We ask, our crew delivers. Here's that dunk. Colin Chandler, this was his second, a perfect 50.
Oh, gosh.
And got to dance with John Wall after.
Woo! I believe I can fly.
It's impressive. Impressive. It's good to see him get going. 15 points tonight after a slow start. Shaky first half. He's back at the point now. Going to see if he can get his legs there. But nothing positive from the second half from Colin Chandler.
The Colin Chandler fan club very much intact here in Lexington. Kentucky finding their spark here in the second half, 44 points as we work with under 5 minutes to go. Now up top for Moreno.
Colin thought he was throwing it to himself.
That might have been number 2 on SportsCenter tomorrow.
Yeah. Malachi can jump, but not that high.
Give Nicholls credit. They've found a lot of good looks lately offensively. Rice has been a big part of that and hits the tough J there.
Rice is on the mission right now. He's made a couple shots. He made that last three-pointer. He was talking to the bench and chirping a bit. He's starting to feel himself.
Jelavic open. No good. Moreno trying to take advantage of the second chance. A third, and now fouled. And free throws coming for the Kentucky big.
That's his third.
Kentucky leading big, and Colin Chandler just got Big Blue Nation on their feet with this emphatic slam. Kentucky up big in the second half. Colin Chandler has been the story in the second half for Kentucky, a career-high 15 tonight, and his best 2 came on one of the best dunks that we've seen in Rupp Arena in quite some time.
Without a doubt. He's going to have kids in Kentucky trying this all over the Commonwealth tomorrow morning. Unbelievable athleticism shown by Colin Chandler.
My guy Robbie was getting hyped there on the booth cam, and Colin Chandler really starting to put himself in a position to find time in this starting lineup with some injuries, and I think that's huge because looking at the schedule ahead, yes, you hope to get Jalen Lowe back before that Louisville game, but you've got 4 games upcoming, but all we can really talk about is the Louisville game in this state, right?
November 11th has been circled on the calendar since the calendars have been out, since the schedule's been out. Louisville's coming up. It's earlier than it's ever been that I can remember, and that's a game that all of Kentucky cares about. So that's the game that matters.
You kind of opine that maybe with how early that game is, it maybe means a little bit less than it has in the past, but you know how fans in the Commonwealth treat that contest.
It takes a little bit of weight off of it just because it is so early, and everybody, whatever. The bottom line is everybody wants to win that game, and no matter the outcome, one fan base has all the bragging rights.
Louisville got off to a great start to their season yesterday, an easy win. Freshman Michael Brown looking strong in that performance. 11 points in the big win over South Carolina State. Kentucky has pulled away in this second half. 6 for their last 8 from the field, shooting over 60%. Far cries from a first half that saw Kentucky shooting just 32% from the field. Jelavic looking for Chandler in the midst of a career evening. 15 points for Chandler, that emphatic slam a few moments ago. Jasper Johnson wants the 3, he is fouled. And 3 free throws upcoming.
The foul is on Rice. That's his
A stark difference between the first and the second half. Robbie, you talked about the guard play. Was there anything else that led to this Kentucky offense waking up?
Defense, transition, feeling comfortable pushing the ball. They played at the appropriate pace in the second half. More than anything else, when you shoot shots that are in the flow, when you're shooting shots that are in the rhythm, that's when you make shots. When things are disjointed, when you're not comfortable, it's harder to make shots. Getting in the flow, getting up and down the court like they were able to do in the second half, it really shows how well Kentucky can shoot the basketball when they're taking good shots. Teams that shoot high percentages usually take really, really good shots. Kentucky got really, really good rhythm shots in the second half.
And I think that's what should give Kentucky fans a lot of hope about what this team can look like. If you get a guy like Jalen Lowe back, obviously Denzel Aberdeen plays tonight, 5 assists in the second half. This is an offense that could very easily be as good, if not better, than they were a season ago.
You can't have an engine running without some gas or some diesel. And our gas and diesel were not in the starting lineup. So I think that Hope will probably see this, maybe put a little emphasis on, you know, maybe the way Colin wants to play, or he wants Colin to play in the future if he's going to stay at the point. But he also knows that he does have somebody on the bench in Denzel Aberdeen that can come in and handle things.
Offensive foul there goes against Oweh. And Robbie, I think the big key, though, is you got to know which one your car takes. If it takes gas, don't put the diesel in.
That's very true. Very true. Right now, I think we're just gas. Hopefully, we'll be diesel and tough by the end of the season, but we just got to fill it up right now.
Colin Chandler coming out to a rousing round of applause from Big Blue Nation. Oweh, his night most likely done as well. Those two combining for 28 of Kentucky's points this evening. Those two combining for 20 of those 28 in the second half.
And again, it really did start with Oweh getting to the basket as well. We talk about Aberdeen and the way that he made them play speed-wise, but when it came down to it, Oweh put his head down and got to the basket, made plays, and really got Kentucky going.
Johnson tried to throw it into the post for Moreno. Jelavic will tip that one out of bounds. Slow start tonight for Kentucky, Robbie, but what's impressed you about the turnaround?
Just their stick-to-itiveness. They didn't give up. They came out, they played sluggish, but they knew they didn't play well. They didn't shoot the ball well at all in the first half. They were 2 for 17 in the first half, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's not Kentucky. That's not the way that these guys can shoot the basketball. They knew that. But most importantly, they never gave up on the defensive end. They're still down here competing. Oh, my goodness, watch your head.
The blow-by there from Malone.
But, again, Moreno is still learning. But all in all, defensively, Kentucky was solid. And that's what Mark Pope wants out of this team. Play great defense, offense will come. That's what happened in the second.
Now, if you're Nicholls, this will probably be the most talented team that they play all season long. What are some things that they can take away from this into the rest of their season?
They can take away the second half. They can throw the first half out of the window and just say it was nerves, it was their first game, they weren't ready. I think the bright lights got to them. They didn't score many points. Now they're finally free. They got free a little bit too late. But they have to get some confidence from the way that they played in the second half.
Nicholls will go back to the free throw line a few moments ago.
Yeah, Nicholls they've all had some spurts. You can see the athletic ability from all of those guys. Jalen Rice's athletic ability. Dunkley's athletic ability. They all can play. They just weren't able to play and show it in the first half.
Kentucky set to go deep into their bench.
Checking in for Kentucky are Walker Horn and Zach Tao.
Walker Horn and Zach Tao, and that's going to get the remainder of this Kentucky fan base still inside Rupp Arena to their feet. A couple of guys at the bottom of this roster. They play such an important role. They lead the scout team. They were a big part of the preparations for this game, and now you get a chance on opening night to play in front of this fan base.
Everybody has a part on a basketball team. When I was a freshman, this was my time, and that's okay. It's good to get these guys get in. They work hard. They do everything that the starters do, everything that the scholarship guys do. Let them come in and get some buckets.
Had a chance to talk to those guys at Media Day earlier this year, and they bleed blue. They love being a part of this program. Thankful for the opportunity.
Without a doubt. Yelly's got to give it up to him. Come on, Yelly.
Got to get a basket.
Yeah, Yelly, you get yours later.
There's Pasmino, a bench piece on that Florida National Championship team last year. Missed the first. Betancourt couldn't finish at the rim. Oh, Jelavic for three. Off the mark. Moreno still battling, had that one rejected by the shorter Jalen Rice. Rice was giving up about 9 inches right there on Moreno, but was still able to block it.
I think they don't understand yet. They got to get the ball to the guys that don't play at this time. Yelly did take a wide open three, but come on, man.
Kentucky going to improve to 1-0 in this new season. They will have won 17 consecutive season openers dating back to 2008.
Taking care of business, doing what they're supposed to do.
Dunkley hits both free throws. And Kentucky can dribble it out on an opening night win here in Lexington. the assignment understood. Kentucky will start off the 25-26 season with a hard-earned W. Kentucky on top. They've now won 15 of their last 17 season openers, 17 straight home openers, and the second season under Mark Pope. Off to a good start.
Off to a good start, doing what they need to do. Kentucky came out, slow start, very, very sluggish. Discombobulated offensively, got it going in the second half, put things together, and are on their way to the first victory.
Nicholls giving Kentucky a fight here tonight. They will fight hard for that Southland Conference Championship this season.
Nicholls has nothing to hold their head down about. Kentucky's a very, very good basketball team. Nicholls is going to do nothing but learn from this. This atmosphere was great for them. To be in a building that's this big, it's a great experience, something that they're going to be able to lean back on and come back as they continue down the road in that great Southland Conference.
Robbie, this Kentucky team, one area that you think they can improve on heading into Friday's game against Valpo?
Just starting faster. They got off to a very, very slow start. Looked a little bit tentative at times offensively. Hopefully when they get into the next game, they'll be able to flow into their offense a little bit easier, as we've been joined by our player of the game, Colin Chandler.
Well, Colin Chandler, as you mentioned, joining us courtside here in Lexington. Colin, a heck of a second half for you guys. Offense was a little hard to come by in that first half. What changed for your team in the second?
Yeah, I mean, every team's going to come in and bring their best physicality, and so we're continuing to work through that. We always talk about in practice, we talk about Jenga, the game Jenga, is you keep pulling blocks, and at some point a team's gonna fold, a team's gonna fall, and so we're just patient, waiting for that Jenga moment, and they came tonight.
That's it. You guys struggled shooting the ball offensively. Was it anything that they were doing, or was it just you guys not getting in the flow?
I mean, we're a shooting team. We're gonna keep shooting. They're gonna be nights where we don't shoot it well, but when we don't shoot it well, we're coming 4 guys to the offensive rebound to get another shot.
Exactly.
We're going to get possession after possession. Even if we shoot it bad, that means we're having more opportunities to get another possession.
That's it.
Colin, Denzel Aberdeen coming back from injury tonight. What did he add to this team?
I mean, we love Zell. Zell's he's a vet. He's solid. You just always feel comfortable when he has the ball, when he's in the game, making plays. You can always count on him to make plays, so it's always nice to have a guy like that you can always rely on.
Well, Colin, we've buried the lead long enough. We got to ask about that dunk.
Hey, the lane opened up, and so that's what I wait for.
Here's a look at it.
Yeah.
Where are you hanging that poster?
Yeah, I know. That's right.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw that coming when you got that step, and I said, "Oh boy!"
I took a big step.
Yep,
yeah,
I knew it was
I think
coming.
the whole gym knew what was gonna happen.
Off the dribble. He didn't read the scouting report. I said, obviously, he didn't read the scouting report.